Hello, this is Awe-ctopus and this is my first Pecha Kucha. I said it right, I think. It's called Octopus, and it's because I want to talk about how awesome octopus are. And a little bit more than that, why we should be in awe of them, hence the wordplay. Or pun intended, whatever. Now, this is how most people know octopus, or at least right now. There's been a recent boom in how many people actually eat octopus. And this actually does look pretty tasty. I don't actually eat any animal, but that's my deal. But hey, food looks appetizing. But there's been a recent spike. But there's also been a very recent debate over whether or not we should eat them. And a lot of people are choosing not to eat octopus specifically because of their intelligence. And here we have a video of an octopus getting out of a jar. That's just one example of a test and of how smart these animals are. And there's countless others. It's been going on for years and years. Here's one actually taking a selfie of itself. Well, I guess that's redundant. It's taking a selfie, and it learned how to do that through this device. They learned through experience, through watching other octopus. Their intelligence, as far as how many tests they've been given, seems limitless at how smart they are. And here's another reason why people actually aren't eating them right now. This right here is called an octopus garden, just like the Beatles song. You might know it. And it looks just like random shells strewn about. However, they are arranged and chosen by the octopus to decorate its lair. So, a lot of people have sort of that doubt. Should they eat something that's smart? It's totally up to you. I'm not here to convince you to eat anything. Your diet is your choice. Now, this is another way that people think of octopi, or octopuses. Sorry, that's what I found is the right way. Octopuses, which are as monsters. That was the Kraken, right? And so we think of them as these sea monsters. And it's true, some of the giant ones, which are up to 5, well, they're 5 feet, and then their tentacle span is about 12 feet. They eat sharks. They also attack people, which I think that bottom one's a little comical, but I shouldn't laugh. But that's just an idea or an example of why people are afraid of them. It's not completely unwarranted, right? They can be tough. However, those attacks are rare. And also, I think here's another reason people don't like them. They're slimy and kind of gross. And we tend to like fuzzy things, things that we can cuddle. I think they're really cute. But also, it's kind of amazing that they're that slimy because they can fit themselves through almost any orifice. You see that hole right there? That octopus is going to make it through there. And it's a video you can watch on YouTube. You can just put octopus escapes from boat, honestly. I think they're cute, so I added this picture. It's also a metaphor, though, for their anatomy, because they have multiple hearts. Some have 3 hearts. Now, one of these hearts filters blood while they're swimming. And so most of them do what this octopus does. If you can see it, it hides. So a lot of times you're not even going to see them. Even if you scuba dive, it's not rare, but it's hard. You can swim right past them. So I think we have this sort of confrontational nature. But I wanted to remind people that, hey, they hide, most of the time. That's sort of the general discussion that's happening right now. But why should you care about this discussion? Why do you care about octopus? Well, I get excited because I think we can learn a lot from octopuses. I think that we can learn a lot from the wonderment that we get from talking about it. That's what I get. I get excited. Also, we can learn a lot from a creature that is extremely old, prehistoric. This is a fossil of an octopus, and the oldest fossil ever found, which I don't think it's this one, but ever found, is 296 million years old. So we're a blip in comparison to their evolutionary chain, and I think there's a lot to learn from something that's survived that long. We're also learning new things all the time, even though they're millions of years old. This represents the fact that we have just discovered a few weeks ago that octopus actually see light, and so thusly they see color through their skin, which is a big deal. That's how they're able to camouflage, which has been a mystery all of this time, and now we know, which is, pretty crazy, right? Another reason to care about octopuses is Paul here. He actually chose the correct winners of the World Cup last year, so all the way up until the last one. And Spain is still salty about it. But hey, I just wanted to also mention that's not science, but hey, if you're a gambler, we all need any luck we can get, right? Now, this is what really excites me. So this is a picture of neurons in a brain, and then sort of brain cells and how they're mapped out. So our neurons, the things that sort of control our brains, right, they're all up here in our head. Um, an octopus has 50% of them in their head and the rest throughout their tentacles. What that means is their tentacles almost think on their own, and not only can they perform independent tasks, if you cut it off, it would still feed the head. It's still moving after it's cut off. That's sci-fi to me, right? Here's an example from The Simpsons. If you don't know, King and Kronos, um, and it kind of looks like an octopus, right? We try to think of these ways of making extraterrestrials, and they're right here on Earth still. A famous scientist was once quoted as saying that octopuses are the closest thing that we'll get to meeting an intelligent alien. And that was a really big deal to discover. I think that is a giant deal because we create experiences as game makers and as any artists and as any scientists, right? We want to figure it out still if you're a scientist. There's a lot to learn, and I think we need to keep that childlike wonderment that we get from the ocean and from the entire earth because we benefit from that wonderment. When we marvel at something, we're learning new things. We're learning lessons and about how an experience is created so we can create that experience, and we're learning the limits of life. The world isn't boring. We're just not looking hard enough. So look a little harder at not only the octopus. I say Google stuff. Like I said, go to YouTube, look up octopus videos. Just go forth and be in awe of the world around you. And I think you're going to find that you'll benefit a lot from it. Thank you so much for listening.